Hello, beta. Good evening, everyone. So, today I will go ahead and discuss what are the important topics that you have to cover from exchange economy. Beta, there will be a 15 marks question that will be asked from exchange economy. 15 marks. So, if you just go ahead and you see there are 5 topics, but out of these 5 topics that you are given, unit 2 ka weightage is the highest. It is 30%. Unit 2 weightage is highest, right beta? So try to understand that because it has the highest weightage, isme se you will get 2 questions, right? And one of them will be for 15 marks. एक 15 marks का होगा और दूसरा 8 या 7 marks का हो सकता है. Now let us try to understand what will be asked in this from this unit number 2. तो बहुत सिंपल है बेटा. इफ यू गो इनटू द पास्ट ईयर क्वेश्चंस, अगर आप पास्ट ईयर क्वेश्चंस में जाओगे, every year they have asked you the same kind of question where they will ask you find equilibrium price ratio. That means find the competitive equilibrium. And second, find the equation of the contract curve. ये कुछ कॉमन क्वेश्चंस हैं जो न्यूमेरिकल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से इट कैन बी आस्क्ड इन एग्जाम. And if you look into the video lectures that I have provided you, we have tried to cover all permutation combination possible, and you have to practice all permutation जितना भी possible है. जैसे for example, if I tell you endowment of individual A is 10,0, endowment of individual B is 0,10, और मैं आपको एक यूटिलिटी फंक्शन दे दूं, दैट यूटिलिटी फंक्शन ऑफ इंडिविजुअल ए इज min of xy and utility function of individual B is x plus y, and I ask you find equilibrium price ratio. तो you should be able to solve this kind of question. ऐसे ही अगर इसका यूटिलिटी फंक्शन मैं चेंज करके कॉप डॉगलेस कर दूं, then also you should be able to find the equilibrium price ratio. अगर इसका यूटिलिटी फंक्शन चेंज करके मैं मैक्स कर दूं, you should be able to find the equilibrium price ratio. इसको हम 2x plus y कर दें, you should be able to find the equilibrium price ratio. So जितने भी आप whatever number of combinations you can go ahead and try, it will be good. जितना ज्यादा आप इस चीज को प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हो, you have to make sure इसमें there is no ratification बेटा. You need to practice all possible example. ये पहली बात है. Secondly, there can be some theoretical questions also that can be asked. There can be some theoretical questions also from this topic that can be asked. Let me give you a list of those theoretical questions. So first of all, अच्छा कभी कभी ना वो डायरेक्ट नहीं पूछ के इनडायरेक्टली ऐसे. So what do I mean कि they will not say कि define the welfare theorem. कभी कभी they will directly say कि define first and second welfare theorem. And sometimes they will go ahead and they will indirectly state this thing. ठीक है? So for example, they can go ahead and they can make a statement that the competitive equilibrium is always Pareto efficient, justify. ऐसा कुछ. So they will give you a statement and they will ask you to verify that statement. तो book की एक statement of this chapter, you have to read those statements very very well. बहुत अच्छे से वो statements पढ़नी है. So for example, they can give you a question like this, that the ICs may be tangent to budget line and still we may not achieve Pareto or competitive equilibrium. Justify. राइट। तो ये स्टेटमेंट क्या कह रहे हैं बेटा कि इवन व्हेन द इंडिफरेंस कर्व विल बी टेंजेंट टू द सेम बजट लाइन, then also you may not achieve competitive equilibrium and you have to justify the statement. Is it true or is it false? ICs are tangent to budget line, but still competitive equilibrium achieve nahi ho raha hai. Is this a true statement or a false statement? Justify. So theoretical questions like this can be asked. Jaise for example, part number D, you can be asked a theoretical question which can say the following, that the equilibrium in nth market requires equilibrium to be achieved in n-1 markets. Justify. So this is simply the Walras Law. So such questions can be asked in exam and you have to do these questions very, very well. अच्छे से इनको practice करना ही करना है. You have to try these questions. So the task for today is for you to go ahead and make sure that you do this chapter very well. Unit 2 is your task for the day. Unit 2 को बहुत अच्छे से आपको cover करना है. And in unit 2 you have to make sure कि आप fundamental theorems को बहुत अच्छे से read करो. Within the fundamental theorems, try to read each and every statement very, very clearly बेटा. कभी कभी कुछ बहुत basic statement book से उठा के they will give you in exam, so you have to make sure that you read them very, very well. One last thing that can be asked in the paper जो आपको अच्छे से पढ़ना है, that is on lump sum taxes and transfers. Right? So please read that part very well. इस बारी there is a high possibility that this can be asked in exam. So they will go ahead and say that the government must step in with lump sum taxes and transfers to ensure target equilibrium. Justify. है ना? तो ये वाला part we have already done in as part of our course. So you have to tell the role of lump sum taxes and transfers, how you can achieve the target equilibrium. This is figure 15.9 of your book. So this kind of things can be asked in exam. तो पहला part क्या हो गया बेटा? You will be asked number 1 questions on finding Pareto efficiency. यहाँ पे आपको question पूछा जाएगा on competitive equilibrium, questions on Pareto efficiency and contract curve equation. ये आपका अपने आप में there will be a full-fledged question on this. ठीक है? Then beta there will be questions which will be theoretical in nature from this chapter, which will come for approximately 7 to 8 marks. And मैंने आपको उसमें सारे possible questions दे दिए हैं. These 4-5 questions are some possible questions which can be asked from this part. अच्छा, one more thing, although it is not a part of your book, book में आपने ये नहीं पढ़ा है, but it is my intuition that you can get a question on fair NV equitable equilibrium condition. इसको थोड़ा सा I will give you a numerical by tonight for students who are studying with me. मैं एक numerical इस पे दूंगी fair NV equitable पे. It is my intuition that it may come in exam. तो इसको हम एक बारी देख लेंगे. We will just go through this once. Okay. Now beta, if I just go ahead and talk further, तो इसी unit में से you have another reading added to it, which is the reading where you have been given a lot of numericals, है ना? जो second part है, that has a lot of numericals in it. तो उन numericals को भी हमें करना जरूरी है, and out of these numericals, I will just tell you what all is important from exam point of view. So first of all, you will be asked to find the supply curve of the firm. बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस हैं जिसमें आपको सप्लाई कर्व फर्म का निकालना सिखाया गया है, वेयर वी नो दैट मार्जिनल कॉस्ट इज द सप्लाई कर्व ऑफ द फर्म एज लॉन्ग एज प्राइस इज अबव द मिन ऑफ द एसी. ये कंडीशन से हमने मार्जिनल कॉस्ट निकाला था. सो दैट इज वन थिंग दैट कैन बी आस्क्ड इन एग्जाम. दूसरा जो चीज पूछेंगे विच विल बी बेस्ड ऑन द नंबर ऑफ फर्म्स. So you have to calculate the equilibrium number of firms in the market. इस चीज पर there can be a numerical that can be asked in exam. And if you just go towards the end, जितने भी हमें यहाँ पे न्यूमेरिकल्स दिए हुए हैं बेटा, whatever numericals have been given to you, जैसे there is a numerical which says first welfare theorem with external effects, है ना? This is the numerical number 9, exercise number 9.21. So these exercises you have to do thoroughly. इस एक्सरसाइज में आप एक भी क्वेश्चन नहीं छोड़ोगे. These exercises are very very important from exam point of view. I think there can be a question, please लिख लो इस क्वेश्चन को. There is a question which can be asked in exam that true justify के लिए profit and producer surplus imply the same thing. Explain. So you need to remember that profit and producer surplus, both of them are not the same beta. जब हम profit की बात करते हैं, so it is total revenue minus total cost. And when we talk about producer surplus, it is total revenue minus total variable cost. So these two things are not the same. तो इस पे एक छोटा सा part आ सकता है. So just you need to go ahead and remember this part, right? बाकी I have high intuition, यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन आएगा तो इन 4 पार्ट से ही आ सकता है. Either they will ask you to find the supply curve of the firm, they will ask you to find the number of firms, or they will ask you a question on finding the producer surplus, or they will ask you this kind of question जो लास्ट में दिया हुआ है, first welfare theorem plus external effect. That is it, that can be asked. So this is all about unit 2. Remember, unit 2 is one of the most difficult units from exam point of view, and unit 2 has the highest weightage. तो इसको आपको enough time देना जरूरी है. So I would suggest that you give today entire day to unit 2, and till tomorrow 1 PM I would suggest you to do unit 2 only. यूनिट 2 के करने के बाद पोस्ट यू हैव डन यूनिट 2 बेटा, हम 4 और 5 को एक साथ कल शाम तक खत्म करेंगे. वी विल ट्राई टू रिवाइज 4 and 5 फर्स्ट, बट अभी के लिए इट इज माय हाई रिक्वेस्ट टू यू टू डू यूनिट 2 बाय टुमारो. आज रात बैठ के जितने पॉसिबल न्यूमेरिकल्स हैं, जितने लेक्चर्स मैंने करवाए हैं, go ahead and do all numericals from unit 2. Go ahead and share your doubts with me. I will go ahead and clear those doubts also. But don't skip any topic that I have mentioned from the point of view of unit 2. Okay, beta. Thank you so much. I will meet you again tomorrow, and I will tell you the important topics from unit 4 and unit 5 tomorrow. Thank you.